Hello students, today we are going to do with the applications of Biot-Savart's law, and in this we are going to do two of the main applications based. The first one is the magnetic field due to a straight current carrying conductor of finite size. So we will take a conductor of a finite size and we'll pass the electric current to it, and we are going to find out the magnetic field just because of this straight current carrying conductor of finite size. So let us just assume we have taken this as the conductor. Let us it's a conductor we have considered. Let P be a point, and P is at a distance here R from the, let P be a point, and this is the point Q. This is at a distance R from the wire where the magnetic field is to be determined. The magnetic field is to be determined at the point P. Okay, so we will assume a current element. This is the current element that we are considering. This current element, let us assume we have taken it as AB. AB is the current element, and it will subtend an angle. It will subtend an angle at this particular point. Let the angle which it is subtending is d phi. So d phi is the angle which the element, this element is of length dl. This element is of length dl. Okay, and let us drop a perpendicular from point B to this point G. Let us assume this makes an angle theta, and by and this point, the elementary point, the elementary distance which we have considered from the point P, let us assume this distance we have considered as x. The angle which it makes is phi, and since we have to take the finite condition, so we will be taking at the extreme ends. So this is one of the angle. This angle we have taken phi 1, and we have another angle coming out from here, and this another angle that we will be taking up is what we take this as phi 2. This is phi 2. So phi 2, let us assume these are the C, D. Let us assume we have taken point C and D. So C and D are the positions, and they makes respective angle phi 1 and phi 2 at the point P. Now we are going to use the Biot-Savart's law to find out the magnetic field. Using the Biot-Savart's law, the main formula for the Biot-Savart's law is dV, magnetic field at P due to the elementary length dl. We have considered the elementary length dl is dB equals to mu 0 by 4 pi. We have the formula mu 0 by 4 pi I dl. I is the current, dl is the elementary length, dl sin theta divided by the distance from here to here. If you can see the figure, distance of this elementary portion, because it's very small. In figure you can see it in large one, but it's very small. So the distance from here to here is x, so we have taken this as x square. Okay, now if you get to see the figure properly, then this BG, if we consider this is DL and this is BG, so in triangle, if you consider the triangle, in triangle ABG, we have got BG is equals to, we can write AB sin theta, we can write AB sin theta, or sin, because sin theta is perpendicular by hypotenuse P by H, so we can write BG as equals to DL sin theta. Okay, so we have got BG as equals to DL sin theta. Again, from the same figure, if we consider this angle to be very small, this triangle which we consider BGP, in triangle PGB. Okay, if we consider, then we can straight away write this d phi. This angle d phi is very small, so we will take again BG is equals to x d phi. So let's substitute BG and BG are same, so DL sin theta can be replaced by x d phi. So we have got the condition DL sin theta is equals to x d phi, right? Now let us substitute in the main equation. dB equals to mu 0 by 4 pi I. Instead of writing DL sin theta, we will write x d phi divided by x square. So we are getting mu 0 by 4 pi I d phi by x. So we have got this condition. Okay, this is the condition which we have got. Again, from the triangle we want to replace the value of x by r. and since we want to replace the value of x by r, so look at the figure again. In triangle PBQ, so cos phi, if we get to write, then cos phi is equal to, this is base is r by x, this becomes the hypotenuse. So we can write, instead of x, it is r by cos phi, isn't it? So let us substitute this value here. Instead of x, what we are going to write? R by cos phi. So while substituting, we are getting mu 0 by 4 pi I, and d phi will remain as it is. Instead of x, we are substituting r by cos phi. So finally we get this as equals to, cos phi will be at the numerator divided by r. So we have got a very nice relation here, mu 0 by 4 pi I cos phi d phi by r. Now we are interested in finding out the total value of the magnetic field. So in order to get it, let us integrate. But when you integrate, so the integrable term, let us take the, so the total magnetic field is given by B equals to, we have got B equals to mu 0 by 4 pi comes as constant, I by r comes as constant, and integration of cos phi d phi. And when we integrate cos phi d phi, let us take the limit. If you get to see, the direction of phi 1 is in this direction. Can you see this is in this direction, because we are measuring like this, how far it goes. So the direction is somewhat like this, and phi 2 is somewhere like this. So we will take the limits from minus phi 1 to plus phi 2. So we will take the limits minus phi 1 to plus phi 2. And when we integrate cos phi, we are getting sin phi. When we integrate cos phi, we get sin phi. This is equals to mu 0 by 4 pi I by r, and this is sin phi. And then again it is minus phi 1, and this is plus phi 2. So when we substitute, this is what we are getting. We are getting this value. Let us substitute the limit. So instead, when you substitute the limit, we get mu 0 I by 4 pi r sin phi 2 minus of sin minus phi 1 and sin of, so we can, let's write this relation here. We can get this as equals to B equals to mu 0 I by 4 pi r, and this becomes sin phi 2 minus of sin minus phi 1. So this becomes minus plus. So ultimately B equals to, what formula we are getting? B equals to mu 0 I by 4 pi r, and this is sin phi 1 plus sin phi 2. So this is the main equation that we get. You can very well see, this is the main equation which we are getting up here for the magnetic field due to a straight wire carrying current. I hope this is very clear. What we have seen, we have taken a figure, point P, where we need to find out, and then we ultimately we are substituting in the final equation. dB is equals to mu 0 by 4 pi ideal sin theta by x square. We replace dl sin theta by x d phi, and ultimately from the equation we have replaced x also by r by the formula x is equals to r cos phi, and then we have substituted into the formula, and we have integrated to get the complete value. And finally this is the value which we are getting. But then again we need to see the we have to see the special conditions. So what are the special conditions? That is the special cases that you have to consider. Special cases. Case number 1. Suppose if we take a conductor of infinite line, suppose the conductor is of infinite length. You don't know the length. Then in this case, phi 1 is equals to phi 2 is equals to 90 degree. So in the formula, if I substitute B equals to mu 0 I by 4 pi r sin 90 degree sin 90 degree. Sin 90 degree is 1, so we get the relation as mu 0 I 2, and this will be 2 by 4 pi r. This is 2 by 4 pi r, and ultimately what we are getting? We are getting 2 mu 0 I by 2 pi r. So this is the condition for the infinite length. We have got this relation. Okay. Next, number 2. So if we consider this as a point P, near one end of the conductor, we can take phi 1 as equals to 90 degree, and we can take phi 2 as equals to 0. So it is our wish what we want to take, and again substituting this, we will get B equals to mu 0 I by 4 pi r. It all depends. And if we plot a graph between the magnetic field B and the distance r, you can see that the magnetic field is inversely proportional to the length. Okay, so the graph comes out like this. So this is the nature of the graph for the magnetic field versus the distance graph. I hope it is clear. Now based on this, we will be finding out the magnetic field at the center. Let us find out the magnetic field at the center of a circular current carrying loop. So we will consider a loop and we are going to find out its magnetic field. So this is a loop. Let us assume this is a loop, and we will take the pass out the current. This is extremely very small, so the current goes like this. It is into this direction, and finally it is coming out. So this is the point O. Okay, and we have considered a very small elementary portion. This is the direction, a small elementary portion dl we have considered, and the distance of this from here to here we have considered this as a. That forms the radius, and the direction of the magnetic field is b vector. We are using the right hand palm rule, and right hand palm rule is what? If this is the thumb is giving the direction, the current, then the magnetic field is perpendicular to the plane. Okay, and if this is the observation point and the current is given by the thumb, then we can easily get the magnetic field perpendicular to the plane. So the magnetic field is perpendicular to this plane. Now let us again use the Bhatt-Savitz's formula. dB is equals to mu 0 by 4 pi I dl sine theta by a square, because that becomes the distance. Now in this case, theta is equals to 90 degree, because this angle is very small, so it makes an angle of 90 degree. So we can reduce this term as dB is equals to mu 0 by 4 pi I dl sine 90 degree is equals to 1, or else I can write here by a square. So finally we are getting mu 0 by 4 pi I dl by a square. Now what exactly we need to find out for the whole circle? For the whole circle, it means we need to find out the total magnetic field. When we do with the total magnetic field, then you can very well see the relation. We get B equals to summation of what? So this whole mu 0 by 4 pi is constant, I is constant, and a square is constant. So we need to find out the complete value of dl, the elementary length, and if we want to find out the complete length, then it is what? The circumference. So it is mu 0 by 4 pi I by a square, and this is sigma of dl, and sigma of dl is giving it what? 4 pi a. So B is equals to mu 0 by 4 pi I by a square, and this is 4 pi a. So ultimately we are getting B equals to mu 0 I by 2a. So we get this relation. So this is the formula which we are going to do. If we have got n as the number of turns, then we multiply the equation. If n is the number of turns, we get B equals to mu 0 ni by 2a. So this is the formula which we are doing up. Okay, and the direction of the magnetic field is perpendicular to the plane of the coil, directed upward according to the right hand palm rule. And I've already stated, right hand palm rule is what? If we stretch our right hand palm such that the thumb points the direction of the current, and the finger points gives the point P where we are going to find out the magnetic field, then the perpendicular drawn from the palm will give the direction of the magnetic field. That is what is the right hand palm rule. So we are using the right hand palm rule to get the direction of the magnetic field. And again I repeat, the direction of the magnetic field, B vector, is perpendicular to the plane. So this is the plane. So it is perpendicular to the plane of the coil, directed upward. It means what? It is directed, it is in the upward direction, and this we have applied the right hand palm rule. Okay, I hope you have understood. Thank you for watching.